All right, good morning, guys. I have the mug file here for you that you're going to be using to create your 15 ounce. It's not a 15 ounce, it's actually a 11 ounce coffee mug. The mug file size is 3.5 inches tall, and then it's 8.5 inches wide. And there's a few things here I want to explain to you guys. And first thing right here is the black line that goes all the way around is the finish size right here. Then obviously this magenta line that goes around the inside, that's the margin. This job, for the margin, any copy, and what I mean by copy is any type you decide to put on the mug, I would keep inside this margin. All right. This red line way out here on the outside, that is called the bleed margin. So you're allowed to put an image or a color and let it go beyond the edge of this file, the white page. And the reason we do that is that when we trim this down to the final size, you're going to um, you're going to let the color go out there. So when we trim it, the color actually trims off the edge. All right. So that's how this sets up. The other thing too, again, make sure you're in up here in Essentials Classic. All right. And that will give you your layers, which you're going to want to do. And what I'm going to do for you guys right now is I am going to add a couple different layers for you. All right. So there'll be 3 layers. I'm even going to name them. If you choose to use these, that's up to you guys. So first layer, obviously, I always like, that's always pretty much the background. So whatever you want on the bottom as your background, whether it be a color um, or images, that's where those are going to go. All right. So that would be a background. Layer 2, you have some options here. Um, Layer 2, I'm going to call this additional, oops, 2Ds, additional images. And these would be your primary images that you might want to use. So again, your background would be uh, secondary stuff that you don't care gets covered. Then additional images would be the primaries, so the things that you want to see. And then obviously on layer 3, we'll call that the type layer. All right, and that would be obviously where you're going to put type if you choose to do that. So I'm going to go pretty simple on this for now. So we'll go to the background layer first, lock off the other two. Again, just hit this button, and you can click and drag to unlock and lock. So if you just click and drag, it'll open and close these for you. So I'm going to put that in the background. I'm going to throw a color in. Again, if you put a full color in the background, you would just use this rectangle tool right here. And I'm going to go from point A, one corner, right down to the other corner. Remember, I want this to bleed. Right now, this has a black stroke on it, which I really don't need anything on there. So I don't need to have a stroke, but I do need to have a color. So now I'm going to select a color. Well, let's just put a red background in there. Keep it simple. Again, if you want to add different colors in here, you would go down here to the plus sign. You would have to select a color first. Go down here to the plus sign, hit the plus sign, and then it's going to give you that same color again. Just double click on it. And then under here, under CMYK, scroll down to this solid coded right here. And this will give you all those Pantone colors to choose from. All right, bunch of different colors in here. So let me just scroll down. I want a maroon. Let me go 187. Yeah, that's better. Say okay. That's how you add another color. All right, so there's my background done. I'm not gonna mess with this anymore. So go with that. Now let me go with additional images. So we'll go here and let me see what I can find on my desktop. So again, you'll do File and you will place. Shortcut key is Control D. So see what I got for images here. Actually, no, here's a kind of, let me do this image. Whoops. One mistake, make sure that you're on the right, on the right layer. When you do that, so move this over. Again, if the file is too big, you can always crop it. So again, Shift Control Alt. I'm going to make it smaller first. And again, this image is pretty big the way they took the picture. This is from my track meet last night, which um, girls won by 1 point and the boys lost by 6 points. So all around it was a good effort from everybody. So I'm going to just crop this in a little bit. Something like that. And again, now I can make this bigger. Now, if the image looks blurry, like this one looks blurry because it's bringing in a low resolution image just for the file. If you're really concerned about this, if you go up to View and go to Display Performance and click on High, you'll see that the image is actually good. Nice, clean image. All right. So there's the track team yesterday. That pink line that shows up right there that says I'm just centered. That's that. I'm going to go back to my layers, and I'm going to lock that one off. Go to Type, and what I want to do, there's a Type tool right here. You can type normally and type on the path. We'll get into that another time, but I'm just going to use a Type tool, and I'm going to make a box. And for this, I want to do a vertical. I want it to be vertical. The type I'm putting in here. So I'm going to put the caps on because I want this all capitals. And in this case, I'm going to just put. All right. So I just typed track vertically here. I'm going to pick a different font, and I know what I want. I think if it's on here, I think it is. Oh shoot, it's not. There's a font out there called Varsity, and I thought we had it. I thought I had it here, but I guess I don't. Nope. All right, so I'll pick something different. So let me see. How about this one? Yeah, that's kind of cool. So I'll go with the wide Latin, but now I can fill the space. So again, I can use these arrows to go up. Actually, the more I look at that font, the more I don't like it. So I'm going to go back and switch to something else. I'll use Rockwell. Yeah, Rockwell. That's pretty cool. So we can make this a little bit bigger, right? And you can center it in the text box. It's really not necessary. And you can make the text box, when you do something like this, you can take the text box and make it a little smaller. And then I like it because the pink line shows up again because now it's saying my text box is centered on my picture. And I got it kind of centered on there. I'm going to copy this because I want to use the same font. Control C, Control V for paste. You can see I got track right there. I'm going to come over to the other side, and the arrows are telling me that my distance is the same from the image, but I wonder if my image is actually centered. So I'm going to double check that. So I'm going to go back to images for a second. And as you scroll left and right, now you can see there's a cross here. There's a vertical pink line and horizontal. That means now my photograph is centered, which is something I should have done when I placed it. And now if I move this over, I get the distance the same. Now, instead of this over here saying track, I want this to say, I'm going to put the year. So the year is 2021. Right now, this is a little smaller, obviously, than tracks, and I'll make my text box smaller. I'm going to bring it up to the 1. And now I'm going to take the box and slide it down until I get that pink line. So now track 2021 is centered. Now, because of my image, school colors, and stuff like that, I'm thinking maybe I should make a change. And the change I'm going to make right now is I'm going to highlight this font. I'm going to change it to yellow for now, but I'm going to change to another color. Double click. I'm going to go to my spot colors down here again, solid coded, and I'm looking for 123. 123, 123.5 works. That's the school gold. All right. You'll see why I'm going to do this here in a second. Say OK. I'm going to go over here. I'm going to change this to the 123. Now this will be saved in here now. It's the 123. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going back to my layers. and go back to my background, and I'm going to make it the school blue color. So again, go up here. I'm going to add a new color. Cancel that. Switch to blue, new color. Double click on this, and for same thing, solid coded. It's 2748 is the blue. There it is. Hit OK. You can see it's changed. And the one last thing I can do is lock that off. Go to my additional images where my file is, and I can actually put a stroke in here. And I think I'm going to go with black, and I can change the thickness. So you can see I got a black rule here. The other thing too is this line right here. It gives you options. I'm going to stay with the solid, but there's some doubles and thicks and thins. So I'm going to leave that. And again, that's a 3 point. Maybe I'll make it 4. Yeah, I like that. Now, down here, my screen won't show it. That's all right. So once I have this all done, right, track 2021, there's my images. Right here, obviously, you're going to file save it. So you're going to go to File, and I want you to do Save As, okay? And when you do the Save As, make sure it's going in your desktop folder. All right, I'm just going to put this on mine. It's actually an 11-ounce mug. So you don't even have to put that. What I want you guys to say is I want you to put your name. It could be your first or last. I'm just going to go Dion, and then you put an underscore and just put mug. All right, when you save, do a file save as. When you're done, hit save. All right. Once this is done, once you've gone through this whole process, and you probably have to come back and watch this part, you go to File, and you go down here to Package. And when you file package it, it's going to collect all the documents and stuff. Don't worry about the warnings and stuff, but it's not that really that important right now. So you're going to go to File, Package. Obviously, I want you guys to put this on in your desktop folder. So I want this in my desktop, and I'll call this Dion stuff. Have a folder. Open this. So again, it says Dion mug folder down here. Hit package. Say OK. Now, once you have all this done, because this has a bleed, you need to make sure that we set up a file that has a bleed in it, right? And you're going to go up here to File. One last thing you'll do, and you go down to Export. So I have my Dion stuff folder I just created. It's right here. I want to put it in here. You got to open up that mug folder. Now notice you got Dion mug right there. It says Dion mug. And down here on the file name, what I want you to do is say W, which means is going to stand for width, and then just type the word crops. Okay? And hit save. Now it's going to give you this menu for a new PDF file. And when you get this, all you got to do is go over here where it says marks, make sure crop marks are on, use document bleed settings, and hit export. And problem. What's the problem? It's probably, yeah, that's okay. Say okay. And then if I go down here to my folder, go to my desktop with crops. If I open this folder up now, you'll notice my file there's the document, there are the crop marks. The reason we want these is that this sets it up so we know where we have to trim it, okay? That's why you want the crop marks on there. And that is it, folks. If you get stuck with any of this stuff, obviously just get the design part done and get the design part done. If you get stuck with that other part with the crop marks and stuff like that, not a big deal. We can always save that for you. All right. So if you have any questions, let me know. you might have to watch this video a couple times. Enjoy your long weekend and good luck. Thanks a lot.